Let's do this. Let's see. Going public now. We go here. Let me click the link. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? I'm gonna wait for some people to get in over here, but like always, the reason why I am going live it is because things are happening, right? There's a lot of things that's going on in this club, and Barcelona is making moves. And so it should be very, very interesting to see how everything does pan out. How's everybody doing? I'm just waiting for some people to come in so we can get everybody here, and then we can start this show that we are going to be having for today, and it's going to be a very interesting one. Let me see the comments. Let's see what everybody's saying. What's up, Kareem? What's up, Gerald? What's up, Alejandro? What's up, Yusuf? Your barber? What's up? Euro 2, good day, Kevin. Yeah, today is a good day, great day because of what has been going on in this club. That's like every time like good things happen within this club, I always like to go live and just talk about it immediately, right? Because we are going to be revolving around what Joan Laporta was saying in the past couple of hours. Things are happening, FC. Yeah, so true. Things are happening, FC. We're interested, FC. That's basically what like we always hear that like on the media, like Barcelona's interested in this player, Barcelona have inquired about this player, blah blah blah. But yeah. What's up, Stan P channel? What's up, Trigger Gotti, Dembélé? Yeah, no, we're gonna be talking about Dembélé too. So let's get to it, right? I do think that we have enough people here, so let's talk about it. I'm very, very enthusiastic right now. I'm gonna be sharing my screen so we could talk about the first topic. And if you guys do not know what like this schedule is going to be like, how everything's going to be scheduled in this video, is that I am going to be talking about what Joan Laporta did say. We're going to be talking about Frenkie, Dembélé, and then after that, I'm going to be answering you guys' questions based off what I did see on the Discord app, right? So I'm going to be going there and I'm going to be answering your questions. So if you guys want me to answer your guys' questions, put those questions on the Discord, and then I'm going to be making a video like 2 days after that, or one day after that. So it should be a very interesting one. So let me share my screen. We're going to share this. Share screen. Do this one. Okay, so here's the thing, right? I look at this and I'm like, there's no way, right? And we kind of referenced this in the previous video. I was talking about how Barcelona is going to be preparing 200 million euros to spend on specific players. And so let's talk about that, right? Because it says here, Joan Laporta thinks Barcelona will have 200 million euros to spend this summer. And then you can see here, the club has 4 main targets. Now it says here, Barcelona president Joan Laporta has briefed reporters that he is hoping the club will have around 200 million euros to spend this summer on transfers, right? So if you guys are kind of like skeptical and you guys are like, no, I don't think this is true, Kevin, this might be fake. It's all like narratives that people just want to make stories because right now the transfer window is hot and blah, blah, blah. Earlier today, Joan Laporta basically confirmed that yes, Barcelona are looking to make big moves. I do not know if he did not say exactly 200 million euros, but he is saying that players right now are waiting for Barcelona to have that financial gain, right? In order for this club, Barcelona, to afford those players. Those players are willing to wait for that club. And so let me explain what I do mean by that, right? So let me go to here, right? I just posted this on Twitter, and this is what Joan Laporta had to say. We are heavily working on new signings, right? And this is very recent. This is what we said. We are heavily working on new signings. Lucky for us, the players are willing to wait for us to activate the second lever. Now, what does that tell us, right? It's basically saying, right, John Laporta is basically saying that there are players out there that we are targeting that are willing to wait for us to have that financial gain, to get injected that extra 200 to the 250 million euros in order for us to afford those players, right? Those four players that we have been mainly talking about, it has been Kounde, it has been Lewandowski, it has been who's the other one? Bernardo Silva, and the other one has been Rafinha. Four players, four big time players that I think is going to be blockbuster hits. Like, this is not just us like finding any random player from West Ham or like some random player from Leganés or like some random player from Lazio. This is us going for the big bang, right? Like, we're over here trying to make these blockbuster hits, these blockbuster moves that the world is going to be talking about. And everyone's going to be saying, where the heck did Barcelona get all this money? Were they not claimed to have like 1 billion euros in debt? Did they not, weren't they like considered as that broke club where they couldn't buy any players at all? Like, they only had to rely on free transfers. This is the reason why I say that this is going to be blockbuster hits, because not only not only are we going to be gaining four players, but we're going to be also showing towards the world, right? All of these other different fans from around the world that Barcelona is back, that Barcelona can afford players such as Lewandowski, Kounde, Bernardo Silva, and Rafinha, right? These are not free transfers. These are players that we have to pay for. So it's like, like, even for us, we follow Barcelona every day, and we're like, where the heck did they get all this money? Like, yes, they made these deals, right? They sold certain assets, but the fact that Barcelona were able to get in this position so quickly, right? Joan Laporta has been the president of this club for like a year and like 2 or 3 months. So quickly, right? Many were speculating that Barcelona were going to be able to be in a financial position like this, to make moves like this in about 4 or 5 years. But seeing that they have done it within a span of like 1 year, that is what surprises the most, because everyone expected Barcelona to come into this transfer window and say, oh, it's that broke club. It's that club that can't afford nobody. They can only afford like free transfers, and they can barely fit wages within their wage cap and blah, 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 right? So it's such huge news for this club. Like, the amount of experience that Joan Laporta has is what surprises me the most. Like, only him, right? Only he can bring Barcelona back into this financial position. He has the experience. He knows what it takes to bring a club into its best version financially and economically and sportingly, and you know what I mean, right? Because Joan Laporta has been in situations like this before. Like, if you follow Laporta since like 1998 or like 2002, like if you were watching soccer in 1998 and 2001, 2002, when you saw Joan Laporta for the first time become the president of FC Barcelona, you know, right? And I'm speaking for the people who are like 30 years old right now. I'm not speaking to the people who are like 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. I'm speaking to the people who are 30 years old. You have seen Joan Laporta be in a position like this, right? Back in 2003 or 2002, he came into this Barcelona team, this club back in 2003, where he saw this club so financially broken, so economically broken, and Laporta is doing the exact same thing like how he did back in 2003. He brought that Barcelona club back in 2003 and reformed them and made them become a very competitive team, and that is why they won the Champions League 2 or 3 years later, right? Laporta is doing he's repeating history now. He's doing this again in 2022, and it's crazy because, like, it's kind of like you also have to wonder, right? Like, what were the socios thinking? Like, why did the socios choose Bartomeu over Joan Laporta back in 2015? Like, did you not see what Laporta did 20 years ago, right? That's something that I always question coming from the socios, right? Like, why did you deny Joan Laporta 6 years ago, 7 years ago? What was the reason for that, when he has shown proof that he was able to bring a broken Barcelona, a Barcelona team that was not competitive at all, and brought them to its best version by bringing Ronaldinho, by bringing Rafa Marquez, by bringing all of these players, Deco, right? And they denied him back in 2015 and brought in Bartomeu. And now seeing Joan Laporta get elected in 2021 and seeing him come back in this way, it's like one huge slap to the face. Like, yes, you made a mistake and here's the proof, right? So I'm kind of like all over the place right now because it's just like, wow. Like, I know that we haven't completed these transfers, but I'm very much looking forward towards Barcelona doing so because I have a lot of belief that they can. Right, I have a lot of belief that they can because of what Laporta said. He literally said here that he said we are heavily working on new signings, and lucky for us because we are like one of the best clubs in the world, one of the most attractive clubs in the world. The players are willing to wait for us to activate the second lever. Kounde is willing to wait for Barcelona and not go to Chelsea just so he can complete his move and become a Barcelona player. Lewandowski is willing to wait for FC Barcelona, right? And not go to like a different club. Bernardo Silva does not want to continue at City, right? Even though he has everything there with Pep Guardiola, has one of the best sporting directors in the world, is the richest club in the world. They've been going to the semifinals, going into the quarterfinals consistently every year, but he's still willing to push off City to go to FC Barcelona, right? It's just the amount of leverage this Barcelona team has, this club. It's so phenomenal. It is so massive. Like, I can't believe it, right? So going back to this, right? If you guys just got here, this is basically what we're talking about. Laporta thinks Barcelona will have 200 million to spend this summer. I do think that Joan Laporta will have that 200 million euros. Like, that's like this greatly does correlate to what Joan Laporta did say earlier, like 2 or 3 hours ago, right? Having 200 million euros to spend on transfers, that is a lot. And I think that with 200 million euros, that is enough, my friends, for Barcelona to afford those 4 players that they want, right? We talked about this in the previous video. Let me go back to the comments real quick because I like to check it every now and then, just in case there's like some sort of like technical errors. And I know that you guys would tell me first. Okay, so everyone can hear me. Everything's good, right? Everything good quality. Everything's good, right? Before I continue, everything's good. Cool. All right, cool. So far, so good. All right, awesome. I want to make sure that the connection is well. You guys can hear me. All right, cool. I see it. I see your guys' comments. All right, so going back, where were we at? Okay. So like I said, we're gonna go here, right? So 200 million euros. If we're talking about, 200 million euros is enough. If you guys think that is not enough, it is enough because, like I've said in the previous video, let's talk about worst case scenario. Let's talk about let's assume Barcelona pay the most. They pay the most for those 4 players, right? So like Barcelona just get completely outclassed in negotiations. We have to pay maximum for every player. Bernardo Silva, right, is going to be costing around 80 million euros. I want to make sure that I get this the math correctly, right? 80 million euros, Bernardo Silva. Okay. Kounde most likely is going to be costing, let's assume, worst case scenario, 55 million euros. Okay. Lewandowski, worst case scenario, we pay the 50 million euros, which is what Bayern Munich does want. Rafinha, right now we have what was it again? It was like 50 million euros plus 10 million euros in bonuses. So let's just say 50 million euros flat because we're not going to be paying that 10 million euros in bonuses unless Rafinha meets like certain targets. So let's just assume that we're not going to be paying that, right? Let's just say 50 million euros, right? The 10 million euros come later after the season is over, the season that we're coming into. So we add all that together and we get 5, 8, 13, 18. Okay, so someone did not remind me that I'm really bad at math. Okay, so 1, 3, 15 plus 8. Okay, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 235 million euros. This is worst case scenario. 235 million euros. Barcelona will be able to have 200 million euros. right, in player transfers. And remember, we're not even counting the sales that Barcelona might potentially make. We might potentially sell Memphis Depay. We might potentially sell players like Ricky Puig, Mingueza, and so many other players. So I think that we will have enough funds to completely fund these 4 players. And again, this is worst case scenario. Like, we might pay cheaper for these players and just spend maybe around 100, 190, 195 million euros and have an extra 5 million euros in the club. So it is so possible, my friends, and that makes me very excited. If you guys are like wondering, right, just to give you guys like a quick recap of how I would assume the starting 11 would look like if we complete these 4 transfers. Okay, so look, the defensive line is very easy. I would say Jordi Alba, Dest, Kounde, and Araujo. Set starters. For the midfield, assuming that Bernardo Silva does enter this club, okay? It's going to be Busquets, Pedri, and Bernardo Silva. That type of midfield, guys, that is Champions League midfield. That is a midfield that you cannot mess around with. And then you have players like Gavi, like Kessie, like Pablo Torre, backing those 3 players in case any of those 3 players do get injured. So it is a world-class midfield. The amount of technique, the amount of power Pedri and Bernardo Silva are going to be bringing in as interiors, amazing, world-class, okay? And then when it comes to the front 3, we should expect to see Ansu Fati on the left, Lewandowski as the striker, and I'm assuming, right, I'm just going to assume that, it's hard because we're going to be talking about this later down within this video when it comes to Dembélé, but I'm going to assume that Dembélé does renew because we do have great news when it comes to Dembélé. For those of you guys who are Dembélé fans, Dembélé might actually renew because there is no other option. But again, we're going to be talking about that later in this video. So I'm going to assume that Dembélé does renew, and I'm going to just say that Dembélé will be that starter on that right side over Rafinha. But that does not mean that we're not going to be seeing Rafinha like at all. Like, I'm not saying that Rafinha is only going to be seeing 10 to 20% of the minutes through the season. I do think that Xavi Hernandez is going to want to heavily rotate Dembélé and Rafinha, and especially knowing that that Dembélé is an injury prone, right? We don't want to overuse this player. It's never good to have Dembélé play a full season and play like 99% of the time. Look at what happened with Pedri, right? Look at the second season. He rarely showed up because we overused that player in his first season in Barcelona. So it makes a lot of sense to heavily rotate Rafinha and Dembélé on the right side, but I do think that in the end, Dembélé will be that starter. So that would be my ideal starting 11, and of course, having Ter Stegen in goal. So this is something that, again, I'm very much looking forward to. You guys should be very excited, right? When that second lever does get injected, when they finally agree on that, we should expect to see a lot of movements. And I'm going to be here to talk about that in this YouTube channel. So if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do subscribe, because we are going to be over analyzing the hell out of these 4 players that might potentially come to FC Barcelona. So let's move on towards the next topic of today. And now we are going to be talking about, let's see here, the 2 new signings that Joan Laporta is going to be having next week. If you guys are wondering, okay, Kevin, I heard Joan Laporta saying that there's 2 new signings that are confirmed that are going to be completed next week and they're going to be announced next week. What are those 2 players, Kevin? So let's talk about that, right? And this is going to be a very short one because I think that many of us already know exactly where this is going to go. So let me go back to my face, right? We're going to go here, and then I'm going to show you guys exactly what we are going to be talking about. If we go to here, I'm going to get out here. And don't worry, guys, just for you guys' information, if you guys are late and you guys are like, oh man, I missed it, I'm going to be uploading this video later, but in different parts, so you guys can choose exactly what part you guys want to listen to, instead of just going through the whole live stream and trying to skip through things. And you're like, oh my God, where's that topic that I want to listen to? I'm going to be separating everything, and I'm going to be uploading it like if it was an edited video. So, let's see. Where is it? Okay, so basically, so they took it down, which is crazy, but it's all right. I'll just search it up on Twitter. I don't know why they took off that article. Like, I really had it, but it's okay. Where is it? Okay, cool. We have it here. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so basically, so since I can't find it because I have no idea where it went. Let's see. Where is it? All right, cool. I got it. So basically, we do have Rashad Rahman. He's a great Twitter account. But basically, yeah, it does say here that Joan Laporta has also said that we will present Kessie on Wednesday and Christensen on Thursday, right? So finally, we get to see these two players being like presented to all of the fans. These are going to be the next two signings that Barcelona are going to be announcing. Kessie, I cannot wait to see this player join Barcelona and play on the field because bringing in Kessie to this club really does remind me of when Barcelona signed Yaya Touré. Of course, in a way, they do seem a little different, but Kessie is much more, I would say, much more of a goal scorer, much more technical, and it makes me very excited because we needed that different type of midfielder in that midfield. I think that many of us can agree that we needed something different, something more physical. A player that can play as a central defensive midfielder and also as an interior, and that is Kessie. When it comes to Christensen too, right? Like, here's the thing. This is what's so crazy about this transfer window is the fact that we're going to be having Kounde and Christensen join Barcelona in the exact same transfer window. And again, potentially everything is not 100% guaranteed, but the fact that Barcelona were able to reinforce their defensive line with Christensen and Kounde, that is great because we needed that, right? When it comes to like, there are exits that are happening. Lenglet is finalizing his move with Tottenham, and he's going to be joining Tottenham. We're going to be losing a center back, and now we're gaining another. We're bringing in Christensen. We look at Gerard Piqué, right? He is not someone who can be 100% available all the time, and now we're again reinforcing that defensive position. When it comes to who's the other player, Umtiti, there has been talks about Umtiti going to Italy. There has been talks about Umtiti going to France, and now we're here to reinforce that with another player like Kounde, right? So it's great. And we're going to be having Kounde, Christensen, Piqué, Araujo, and Eric Garcia. If you guys are wondering, like, how would you like order this whole thing? Like, who is the first choice in terms of starting in that center back pairing? Again, it's going to be Kounde and Araujo. The next center back that should be coming in to rotate with either of those two center backs should be Eric Garcia in order for him to get the most amount of experience. This is a center back that Xavi Hernandez likes a lot, right? Because of how technical he is, because of how well he can dribble into the midfield and overload those type of spaces. And so Garcia is a very, very smart center back. Not the most strongest, but a very smart center back, right? But Eric Garcia should be the next candidate and the next player to rotate with either Araujo or Kounde. If you guys are wondering, okay, so when is Christensen going to come into the picture? I think that Christensen can be somebody that can also rotate in case someone like Araujo is not going to be available. So it should be a very healthy defensive line that's going to be rotating a lot. When it comes to Piqué, like I don't really want to see Piqué a lot, to be honest. Like, I know that Piqué had great chemistry with Araujo in the previous season. I know that he is very motivated to do great in his last season with FC Barcelona. But I just do not want to see a lot of him because I want to see Eric Garcia and especially Christensen grow into this team. Because when it comes to Christensen and Garcia, they're both very alike when it comes to attitude on the pitch, I would say, because they are someone that, okay, like when you see those players getting pressured when they're on the ball, they tend to do mistakes. Kounde and Araujo are not like that. If anything, they become aggressive. They grow into the game. Christensen and Eric Garcia need to follow the footsteps of Araujo and Kounde, in my own opinion, based on what I have been seeing coming from those two players. Christensen is a player that needs to have a center back like someone right next to him that's a leader. He cannot be by himself, right? He cannot act as a leader next to someone like Eric Garcia, right? He's not that type of center back. He is someone that needs somebody right next to him that tells him what to do. Eric Garcia, the exact same thing. That is why he works so well with Gerard Piqué. He tends to make some mistakes with someone like Araujo. So I never want to see Christensen and Eric Garcia together on the pitch because that would be a disaster, right? So again, these are going to be the next two signings that Barcelona are going to be announcing. See on Wednesday, Christensen on Thursday, and I cannot wait to see these two players on the pitch. So now let's move on towards the next topic of today. And now we are going to be talking about, let's see. I want to talk about Frenkie de Jong. All right. I know that many of you guys want me to talk about Frenkie de Jong because of what Joan Laporta said. And the fact, I have no, okay, look, first of all, let me talk about what Joan Laporta said, right? Because here's the thing that gets me very kind of confused. Okay, so it says Barcelona president says club has no intentions of selling Frenkie de Jong. So let's talk about that, right? I know that this is something that you guys just want me to talk about because many of us do want to see Frenkie de Jong continue at Barcelona. So here's the thing, right? Okay, so it says here, Barcelona president says club has no intentions of selling Frenkie de Jong. Now let's continue. Barcelona were widely reported to be almost pushing Frenkie out of the door this summer as they aim to balance their books. A financial crisis that has reached epic proportions. But as quoted by reporter Rashad Rahman, Laporta has now said he will do everything in his power to get the 25-year-old to stay. I'm going, and this is what Laporta did say, I'm going to do everything I can in my power so that Frenkie stays here. But there's also a salary issue that would have to be adjusted. Frenkie is considered as one of the best midfielders in the world by all the experts. We are happy to have him. There are clubs that want him, not just United. We have no intentions of selling him. He does want to stay. Okay, so look, right? So I'm looking at this and I'm like, so you're telling me that everything about Barcelona pushing to sell Frenkie de Jong was fake? Like, why is Joan Laporta saying this, right? And that's the thing that gets me so confused is like, okay, so now moving forward, when it comes to Frenkie, was everything that we have been hearing about this player fake this whole time? Like what if this whole time Barcelona were actually just trying to negotiate with Frenkie and try to lower his salary for the next season? Because here's the problem, right? Barcelona are not going to be paying 13. I think his next salary is going to be 19 million euros per season. That is something that Bartomeu has created. Like Frankie's fourth season at Barcelona, on the contract it says that by his fourth season, he's going to get paid 19 million euros. That is something that Joan Laporta is very well aware of. Very well aware of. He knows that Frenkie de Jong's, like his contract says on his fourth year, the one that we're going into right now, he's going to get paid 90 million euros per season. Barcelona in no way are going to be paying that amount, right? The majority of the players that are within this club right now, the average salary is around 6 to 8 million euros. Average. Ansu, Pedri, Araujo, average wise, they get paid around 6 to 7 to 8 million euros. That is the average salary. Even when it comes to Rafinha, Barcelona have agreed with Rafinha that they're going to be paying Rafinha 6 million euros plus variables, right? That is the average. 19 million euros though? Are you serious? That is like paying for 3 different players at a 6 million a year salary, right? So Barcelona is definitely not going to do that. And I think that assuming that, like, see, this is the thing, right? Because I don't want to say that everything that we have been hearing is fake, because that would be such a waste of time, so much headaches, right? But I'm gonna just assume that Barcelona have officially started negotiating with Frenkie de Jong over a salary reduction. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna forget about Barcelona trying to push Frenkie de Jong away from this club, because Laporta just said, he literally just said, I'm going to do everything I can in my power so that Frenkie stays here. but there's also a salary issue that would have to be adjusted. I assume that the agent and the player have no problem reducing the salary because Frenkie is not someone here to make the most money. He is here to make history with FC Barcelona. It's just so crazy to see how like we have been kind of psyched, right? Like I think maybe the real story is that Barcelona have been. This is what I'm assuming. I'm not saying that what I'm saying is factual. I'm just right now. I'm kind of like I'm speculating. I'm assuming that this whole time Barcelona have been negotiating with Frenkie and the agent and trying to work out a deal, a new fresh deal on how they can move forward together. Like they want to be together. Barcelona wants to continue to have Frenkie de Jong. Frenkie de Jong wants to continue to be at Barcelona, and they're probably negotiating. Okay, how can we reduce your salary? What can we do? Because it's not easy. A contract is a contract, right? And Barcelona's not going to be paying for any damages and blah blah blah, right? So like all of those legal things. And I think that in the midst of all of that, with Frenkie negotiating with Barcelona, Manchester United and teams like Chelsea, two clubs who are very interested in a player like this, they're probably saying, oh, I see that you guys are having a problem. I see that this is going on and that, I've been hearing stories about Barcelona wanting to sell Frenkie de Jong. What's going on, Joan Laporta? Are you guys interested in selling Frenkie de Jong? Here's a bid that we have for you guys. We're willing to offer you X amount of money. We're willing to offer Frenkie 12 to 14 million euros per season, right? So that is probably what I assume is now going on. Maybe Man U and Chelsea have heard about what's currently going on in this club, and maybe now they're trying to say, "Hey, I see you guys trying to negotiate a brand new contract. We're kind of interested. What do you think about this bid? Would you accept 85 million euros? Would you accept 100 million euros? 120 million euros?" And so it's very tricky. Because another part of me says, why would Barcelona want to renegotiate a deal with Frenkie, knowing that they're going to be having a very overinflated midfield? Like you still need to think about the growth of Gavi, right? So like what are you trying to do here? Like you want to keep Frenkie, you want to bring in Bernardo Silva, but you need to give minutes towards the players like Gavi. You need to give the minutes towards players like Pablo Torre. And then you also question, then why did you bring in Kessie? Because that is only going to even overload the midfield even more. Because there needs to be a direction. Like you need to either have a plan A or a plan B. But right now, what I'm looking at right now is Barcelona saying yes, 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 and yes. There's no like plan for the midfield, right? Because a couple of players are going to be paying the price for having all of them together, and because if Barcelona say, okay, let's keep Frenkie, we reduce his salary, no problem, let's keep him. What if in the future, like going into this upcoming season, we have Gavi and Pedri and Bernardo Silva rotating all the time, and then Frenkie does not see any minutes? How do you think Frankie's going to be feeling, right? And we still haven't talked about the up and coming great talent of Pablo Torre, someone who I think has great capacity to do so many great things with this club. And then the only solution I see with this is Xavi saying, I have an idea with Frenkie, and that I'm no longer going to be using Frenkie as an interior. I want to use Frenkie de Jong as a pivot. I want to place him there, and I want him to play with Bernardo Silva and Pedri. I want Frenkie to be in that pivot position and play with Gavi and Pedri, to play with Kessie and Pedri, to play with Kessie and Gavi, Bernardo Silva and Kessie, and Frenkie being that anchor in the midfield, the heart of that midfield in the pivot position. That is the only way I could see this playing out. But if you're going to tell me that you want to keep Frenkie and you want to also bring in Bernardo Silva and try to develop Gavi, try to develop Pablo Torre, you're going to have about 1 to 2 players really paying the price for having such an overinflated midfield, right? It's a serious problem. Those are the type of things that I have been thinking about, but based off what I have been hearing here, it does seem like that Barcelona want to keep Frenkie, and now we have to rethink everything about how this Barcelona team is going to be run, because everybody has to develop, everybody has to continue to get better, everybody needs minutes. You can't be having these players and not use them and barely use them. So yeah, that is the latest when it comes to Frenkie. Right now, Barcelona's main idea, according to Joan Laporta, who has confirmed it, they want to keep Frenkie, and they're looking to negotiate with this player and the agent to see how they can reduce the salary. That is what I assume Barcelona is going to be doing, because again, that is what Laporta said. I'm not making this up. It literally says, but there's also a salary issue that would have to be adjusted. He's willing to talk with Frenkie and the agent to reduce the salary in order for Frenkie to continue, and hopefully, right, if everything does go well, if Xavi has a great plan, Frenkie stays here for the next 5 to 8 years at the very least, right? So let me go back to my face. I'm going to be going back to the chat because again, I want to kind of tell everybody here whether I want to ask everybody here whether everything is okay. Is everything fine? Like the signal? Can you guys hear me correctly? Is the quality good? Let me know in the comment sections in the chat. Is everything okay? Like I always like to come back to the chat to make sure that everything is going all right. Everything okay. David Lopez says yes. Nashath, yes. Good, yes. All right, awesome. Cool. So let me stop here for a second. I do want to shout out my the BM member of today, and that is going to be where is he? F2JR, a long-term BM member. If you guys do want to enter the membership for this YouTube channel, you guys cancel. So I want to shout out F2 Junior for being such a great guy, for always supporting this channel. F2 Junior, thank you. He's been a member for 5 months, which is crazy. Thank you, my friend. I see you commenting. I see you with the red badge. It's great to see you here. So if you guys want to join in the membership, you guys can. So there is a join button down below, and I'm going to be putting exclusive content down there. If you guys do want to see it, it is going to be about like what else is going on in the football world. Anything about like, how Cristiano Ronaldo is looking to leave Manchester United. I'm going to be talking about football in general through the membership. If you guys do want to join the membership, you guys cancel, just go in there. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be doing like live videos like this and just talk about like Man U, Juventus, like all of these other stuff that's happening in the football world. Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe. You guys do not want to miss it. It's going to be great content. You guys are going to be loving it. So going back to our agenda, right? So everybody's saying yes. Everybody. All right, cool. So let's go back to the next phase of this video, and now I do want to talk about Dembélé. I see everybody's asking about Dembélé, and so let's talk about Dembélé, right? Because Dembélé has been a very interesting topic because we kind of knew we knew what was going to happen. We're like, okay, like you want to do this, you want to go over there, you want to make these type of moves, but we know what's going to happen. We know the struggles that you're going through. Like we know everything. We know what the end journey is going to look like by the end of this transfer window, and it's actually happening. It is actually happening. Dembélé might actually renew because the agent simply had no other choice. And so let's go into it. Let me share my screen. And there you have it. FC Barcelona and Dembélé are close to a contract renewal agreement. Can you believe it? This is the ideal scenario that Xavi does want. Xavi wants this. Xavi does want Dembélé. Xavi does want Rafinha in the same team in Barcelona. And the fact that we're seeing this, it shows us and it's telling us that the agent no longer had no other options. He could not find an agreement with Chelsea. He could not find an agreement with PSG. He could not find an agreement with Manchester United or City or Liverpool or any other club that they were approaching, right? Again, it says here, FC Barcelona and Dembélé are close to a contract renewal agreement. Why? That is because they simply had no other choice. And so let's read it. It says here, Chelsea, I'm going to skip through these because we already know about this. So it says here, Chelsea were closely linked to snatching Dembélé away from the Camp Nou, with his former Dortmund boss, Tuchel, having reportedly met the World Cup winner to explain what his role would be in the Premier League team. In recent weeks, however, it has been reported that Dembélé may stay put at Barcelona after all and accept their original offer, which is, again, if you guys are wondering what that original offer is, it is a 6 million euro a year contract, which is nothing. It puts Dembélé right next to Ansu Fati, Araujo, and many of the other players that we have in Barcelona. We have to remember, because I remember this back in December. He was proposed the first offer. And that first offer contained 9 million euros per season. And I remember at that time, the whole story was if Dembélé accepts this bid, the first bid that Barcelona has proposed, which was back in December, it would put Dembélé as one of the best paid players in Barcelona. But the agent, right, the player, as a collective, they made a decision and said, no, we don't want this. We believe that we deserved more. We believe that we deserve more. We think that we can get a better deal somewhere else, whether it's in Chelsea or in City or in Liverpool. And to see how everything has played out in the end, not only did they not get the 9 million euros, but they got even less. Now they're being forced to accept 6 million euros per season when they could have accepted the first offer back in December and get paid the 9 million euros per season. That is such a huge mistake. Like it sucks, right? Because I'm not here to say ha ha ha. Like I'm not trying to be that person behind the computer in my closet and talk smack about other people. I'm not trying to do that, right? Like you see my face, right? And I want everybody to succeed. I want everybody to get the most money, the most success, whatever they want. I want money, right? I want my 40 million euro commission tomorrow. I would like to see that, right? But when, like I've said, and I'm going to continue to say this, when you know that your player wants to desperately stay there, when you see your player succeeding, you're going to want to work within their best interest, because you know that you're probably not going to get what you want in terms of salary wise, commission wise in a different club. You know that, right? So you look at Deco. Deco is going to be a very successful agent. Why? It is because he's working at his best interest for Rafinha, right? He's like, okay, Rafinha, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing that you want to go to FC Barcelona. Just know that there's a bigger offer out here in Chelsea. Even if I accept the offer with Chelsea, in order for you, Rafinha, to come in, right, I'm going to be receiving a bigger commission. But the fact that I hear you always saying, right, and I'm basically speaking like if I was Deco, the fact that I'm hearing you always saying that you dream to go to FC Barcelona, I'm willing to work as hard as I can to bring you to your dream club, because I am your agent. I'm here to work within your best interest. That is what Deco has been doing with Rafinha, and he is going to be seeing a lot of success because he's working hard for his client. He's willing to make his client's dreams come true. And Rafinha is going to succeed. The investment is going to come back, and Deco is going to be considered as a great agent, because many are going to be looking at Deco and saying, he listened to Rafinha. He brought Rafinha to the correct club. Look at what Rafinha has been winning to FC Barcelona. He looks like a very reliable agent. I want to work with that agent, right? That is how you do it. That is how you do the business. What we see here, right? What you guys are seeing, I don't know. What you guys are seeing right here, that is not the correct way. It is not the correct way, because you're only going to be hitting a wall. And now Sissoko is forced to accept the only offer he does have for his client, which is a 6 million euro a season per year contract. How do you think Dembélé is going to be feeling? He's going to be saying, "What? My agent doesn't know what he's doing. Like, he not only did he like not move me away successfully, but he brought me into a even lower wage contract. Like, what is going on here? I want to fire this agent." And I hope that does happen for Dembélé for the sake of his future, right? And so it says here, in recent weeks, however, again, I'm gonna read this again. In recent weeks, however, it has been reported that Dembélé may stay put at Barcelona after all and accept their original offer, which is considered the second offer, right? The second offer, which is 6 million euros per season. And Sport now says on Saturday, which is today, that an agreement with the 25-year-old is close with Barcelona, of the belief it will be finalized in the next few days. And then we also have Barca Universal quoting Fernando Polo. The best thing for Barcelona would be that Dembélé renewed his contract. He is playing at his best level, and Xavi loves him as a player. He everything at Barcelona. He is everything. He has everything at Barcelona. A manager that appreciates him, his friend Aubameyang, and the president that says he's better than Kylian Mbappe. Where do you find better than that? Dembele deserves to be in this club. He deserves to be in this club, right? Sissoko thinks otherwise. He's thinking about the money, right? That's the only thing he's thinking about. But Dembele has a future with this club. You and me have to agree on that. I know that there has been a lot of tensions, a lot of hate towards Dembele, and many are saying Dembele doesn't deserve to wear the Barcelona shirt. If Barcelona renew Dembele, it's going to be a disgrace for this club. It's not going to be a disgrace because this player himself, he knows what he has and he wants to stay here and he's willing to deliver for this club, like what we saw in the previous season. He came out with 12 assists, 13 assists, and he did not even play a lot. He was one of the most players that saw the least amount of minutes at this club, but contributed greatly. This player deserves to be in this club. And this club is going to be seeing a lot coming from this player because of how dedicated this player is now. Right at the age of 25 years old, like I wished that what he is bringing today, he brought at 19 years old when he first came in. But at the end of the day, if you did it, you did it, and it's never too late, right? There has been talks about Dembélé renewing with this club for an extra 2 or 3 years until the summer of 2024. That is not official yet. Who knows how long this contract is going to be? Because again, let's assume that it does happen, because I do think that it will happen. There is no buyers. Dembélé will renew. It's going to be great. Dembélé will deliver. It's going to be a very exciting season. He will be one of the best players in that club. But I do not know how long he's going to be there for, because there hasn't been any talks about how long that term is going to be, whether it's going to be 4 or 5 years, maybe 3 years, 2 years, who knows? I think that the ideal term length for Dembélé would be 4 years. Let's give a good 3 years. Let's do this. Let's have Dembélé in this Barcelona club for a good 3 years and then sell him a year before his contract does end for a good amount. Let's have Dembélé in this Barcelona club and hopefully win a Champions League, something that we have been wanting to win, and we want Dembélé to experience that. Dembélé will have everything here. You better bet that. I think that one of the reasons why Dembélé wants to be here personally for him is because he knows that Xavi does count on him, and that is only going to help his case to have a lot of minutes in that World Cup that is coming up in about 4 months. And then in 3 years, when he continues to be a very important player for this club, he can feature in that next World Cup. It's a great move for Dembélé, for him personally. If I was the agent, I would say you deserve to stay here, and I know that you will deliver here, and you will see the money come later, right? So that's basically it. Dembélé is likely to renew with this club, and we're going to be having our right-winger options packed. It's going to be packed. Barcelona is going to be having Dembélé, Rafinha, Abde, and then an option to have Ferran Torres on that right side. Amazing. I love it, right? So great news. So now let me go back to the chat. I want to see what everybody's saying here. How many minutes have we been here? 48 minutes? Okay. So we're almost done with the show, guys. Let's see. Did someone put in... I see someone put in a bid. I want to make sure I don't miss that. I saw someone put something in. Just give me a second. Because now what we're going to be doing next is I'm going to be answering the questions that I've been getting on the Discord. Okay, cool. Let me put in the Discord link if you guys do want to enter the Discord. I'm going to be putting it, and I'm going to be pinning it on the chat. So let me do it real quick so you guys can go in there, put your questions in there, and I'm going to be answering them the next day. The ones that I'm going to be answering right now is already locked in. Let's see. I'm going to pin it. So everybody go in there right now. We got to reach 1,000 members in that Discord. Okay. I'm going to put it right now, and I'm going to pin it. Ready? There you go. You guys can go there, click on it. The link is going to be there. I'm going to pin it so everybody can enter. There you go. All right, guys. It's right there. If you guys do want to join the Discord chat and put your questions and be featured in a show like this, I'm not going to be picking everybody, but I'm just going to be picking random people. Just go in the Discord and go in there. Let's reach 1,000 members in the Discord. I want to have 1,000 members in the Discord by the end of this year. 1,000. Okay, so let's do this, you guys. So the next question that we are going to be answering when it comes to our Discord members, it says here, where is it? Is Rafinha really worth 60 million euros? Is he a better option than Dembélé? And this is what Shane or Shan, I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, but it's either Shane or Shan, or I might be saying it wrong. But Shane or Shan, thank you for putting in that question. It says here, is Rafinha really worth 60 million euros? Is he a better option than Dembélé? I do think that Rafinha is worth that 60 million euros. I really do think so. I think that Rafinha is someone who brings more goals, more opportunities for us to test the goalkeeper. Unlike Dembélé is someone that occasionally really does miss. I would not say that Dembélé, in terms of shots, is the most decisive, which is one of the reasons on why Xavi Hernandez wants to bring in Rafinha, because Rafinha is much more, I would say, targeted within his shots. He really likes to make his shots count. Now, when it comes to like the creativity and making those through passes, Dembélé is phenomenal at that. Rafinha just cannot beat Dembélé in that area. I think that Rafinha will grow in that area, but as of now, Dembélé is the superior one when it comes to the creativity. Rafinha, again, I think that when it comes to his shots, his goals, he will bring that. Xavi does want that. He needs goals coming from his wingers. We have seen that happen at City. We have seen that happen at Bayern Munich. They run it in that way. Their wingers are very, very, I would say, effective. And so we just cannot rely, like assuming that we have Lewandowski in our squad, we can't just rely on Lewandowski scoring all of the goals. So we need our wingers to score too. Rafinha can be one of those wingers. Ansu Fati can be can be one of those wingers, right? So I think that next season, I think that Lewandowski can score 40 goals. I think that Ansu Fati will find 20 goals and Rafinha will find 12 to 15 goals within next season. That's my prediction in terms of who would score the most, right? So that is basically it. I think that Rafinha is worth the 60 because it'll pay us dividends in the future. And he's going to be a very exciting player. I think that many of us are going to love him because he is Brazilian. He likes to be very fancy with his tricks. He likes to take on players. He's a player that's very 1v1. So I think that it is worth it. Do I wish Barcelona paid less than 60 million euros? Yes, of course. But 60 million euros is okay. He has a lot of years to give too. He's only like 24, 25 years old. So let's move on towards the next topic. And it says here, coming from Lord Bean, in case Frenkie de Jong leaves FC Barcelona, who do you realistically see replacing him? Is the Bernardo Silva rumor dead? So just for the quick recap, it does not seem like Frenkie de Jong is going to be leaving. I do think that Barcelona is going to be continuing with this player, just renegotiating the contract, or they could take like the Umtiti route. Like I just forgot about that. They could just say and tell Frenkie de Jong, hey, like that 19 million euros that we agreed on, can we just spread that out into further years? Can we spread that out into the last, like if they extend the contract for another 2 or 3 years, maybe that extra money, that extra like 8 to 9 million that they have to pay can be spread into those extra extended years in the future, like what they did with Umtiti. So I don't think that Frenkie de Jong is going to be leaving anymore because of what Joan Laporta did say. Is the Bernardo Silva rumor dead? I don't think that it is dead because of based off what we have been hearing. I basically kind of answered you guys' questions when it comes to this, because I think that Bernardo Silva is going to be a player that Barcelona will be going for last. I think that when it comes to priority, Barcelona is going to be going for Rafinha first, Lewandowski second, third Kounde, and last Bernardo Silva, which I think is going to be the most complicated for this club because he is not going to be cheap at all. And now seeing that Frenkie might be staying, who knows? Does this change Barcelona's view on Bernardo Silva in terms of priority, necessity? So yeah, it's a very it's not dead. Barcelona's going to continue to try, and I kind of want to show you guys exactly why Barcelona is interested in this player, right? So let me go here. When it comes to Bernardo Silva, like why are they open towards the possibility of potentially, right? Maybe taking out Frenkie de Jong and bringing in Bernardo Silva, because what does Bernardo Silva have over Frenkie de Jong? So let's look at this, right? We're going to go into compare mode. We're going to put, no way. Okay. Wait a minute. There's no way. Don't do that to me. No. You see, guys, so this is why you got to have the best Wi-Fi. Okay, so look. So this happens. I don't know why it does happen. But look, they're very similar in terms of like accurate forward passes. It's almost the exact same thing. Key passes per 90. Bernardo Silva is the superior one, mostly because of what Pep Guardiola does ask coming from Bernardo. He wants Bernardo Silva to be very offensive, right? To create those opportunities. That's not really asked a lot by Frenkie de Jong. He's someone who's much more of like a retainer, someone who sits deeper 50% of the time based off his role and what Xavi does want. And what's funny is that Frenkie de Jong prefers to be deeper, which is why we see his numbers being less in terms of key passes per 90 minutes. Passes to the final third per 90, Frenkie de Jong is the superior one, almost by double, right? When it comes to the passes into the final third, loss index, we can see that they're almost the same thing when it comes to losing the ball. Let's see what else. Let's go to the attack. And they're almost the same age. Like, I don't know why everyone is saying, oh my God, like we're selling a young player for someone who's hella old. They're only like 2 years apart. So we look at the goals. Bernardo Silva is the superior one by a mile. Like 14 goals coming from Bernardo Silva. Again, this is because this is what Guardiola does demand from this player. Goals per 90, 0.25. It's not even close. Like comparing Frenkie and Bernardo Silva is not even close when it comes to like the goals and non-penalty goals. Look how much green he has. It's crazy. And then look at the shots. Bernardo Silva takes way more shots than Frenkie de Jong. He tests the goalkeeper way more than Frenkie de Jong, right? Something that Xavi does like. We look at the shots per 90. 1.1 shots per 90. Frenkie de Jong 0.54 shots per 90. We look at the goal conversion rate. Bernardo Silva is yet again way more superior than Frenkie de Jong. The assist, even the same thing. Like, it's kind of like this is a player that brings the numbers into the sheet. 10 assists. Frenkie de Jong 5, double. Goals, triple the amount of goals Frenkie does have. So it's kind of like why, you know, like I question, right? Why are people so against with switching these two players if it does happen? Because Bernardo Silva will be successful. This is why I do say, imagine having Pedri and Bernardo Silva in those interior positions. That will be phenomenal. That is a world-class midfield. What is Frenkie de Jong superior at? I would really like really superior at, because right now I don't see like successful dribbles. Of course, Frenkie de Jong loves doing that. He loves picking the balls from deep areas, going into the final third. So of course, these successful dribbles, but it's not that big of a margin. But I want to see like where he has that upper hand. Like I want to see something like this, like Frenkie de Jong having like a straight green and then him having like nothing. Because right now I don't see anything. So if we look at the passing. Okay, here we go. Finally. Okay, cool. So look, passes per 90. Frenkie de Jong does give out a lot more. Because again, we need to have context, right? What is Barcelona compared to Man City? Barcelona is a team that passes way more than City, right? Which is why we see Frenkie de Jong having more passes per 90 than Bernardo Silva. Accurate passes percentage, 92%, which is great. Frenkie de Jong is a monster in terms of accurate passes percentage. Accurate forward passes, same thing. Back passes per 90, the same thing. Lateral passes. So this is not even like uh good to be like being good at this. Like lateral passes per 90, that doesn't really matter. The fact that he has more is kind of like we want to see Frenkie de Jong have more forward passes. Accurate lateral passes percentage, Frenkie de Jong is more superior. I think that one of the reasons why Bernardo Silva has way less is because Silva is more used as a interior that needs to always progress the ball forward, only have forward passes. And that's basically it. So that's kind of like, let's see, key passing. Yeah, we've seen this already. So assist, we look at the third assist per 90. Frenkie de Jong is the superior one. This is the same thing. Accurate passes per 90. We saw this already. Accurate through passes percentage. Saw this already. So yeah, it's kind of like we look at these two players, and you can just see that I would say they're not similar in style, but Bernardo Silva gets the job done. Like if we're in a position where we need to win against Real Madrid or against a City or a Liverpool, and we need to score that goal, Bernardo Silva would be your man. So that's basically it, right? We look at. I want to see one of Bernardo Silva's assists because I kind of want to have a general idea of like what type of assist he makes compared to Frenkie de Jong, right? I hope I don't get flagged for this because if I do, I swear I'm gonna be so pissed. Let's look at this pass right here. So we're in slow motion right now. So you can already see. Wait, is this a goal? No, this is a goal. I don't want to see this. It was a golazo, by the way. Let's look at the assist. I would like to see the assist. Now with Portugal, let's talk about City. So wherever I get flagged. Okay, so we have Bernardo Silva. This is against Wolves on May 10th, 2022. See, that is amazing. Like we need that. Like this is the type of thing you would see. This can easily be a type of thing you would see at Barcelona, right? You can have Ansu Fati. You can have Ansu Fati here, who is Phil Foden here. Bernardo Silva being, assuming this, I'm talking about like, okay, like if this was Barcelona, how would this look like? It would be Ansu Fati here on the left, Pedri making that run. This is Kevin De Bruyne, because Pedri is someone who does like to make runs through here, right? This is what Xavi just want. Xavi wants this to make runs through here, through the spaces. And Bernardo Silva is that exact player to feed those balls. Like, look at that. That is world class. That is exactly what we do need. He finds those spaces and he makes it look so easy. It's not supposed to be so complicated. Here we go again. And this is amazing. This is world class awareness. Bernardo Silva is very well aware that he is an option. Look how he wants to signal towards Gundogan that, you know, I'm available. Look at all the space I'm in. Look, he puts himself in the correct spaces all the time, right? Look at that. And there you go. He's on. Look at all the space he does have. That is smart. That is having a high IQ. He takes the ball. He's like, okay, what options do I have? This is what we need at Barcelona. We need that. Imagine this. Imagine having Ansu here making that run. Lewandowski being right here, making those runs here. All right. That is phenomenal. You see that? That is phenomenal. That is amazing. We need that, right? That is a messy type of pass. Like like when you make those passes that you can't even see on the screen, and you're like, where's that ball gonna go? And you're like, oh, it's going to that player. Where did that player come from? Right? That's amazing. That's awesome. So I would like to see that at Barcelona. I don't know about you, but I would like to see that at Barcelona. So I'm thinking I'm gonna conclude the video here because I know I made this video way too long. So I'm just gonna conclude it here. Let me go back to my face. Okay, cool. So I see everybody's comments. All right, cool. So I'm going to be ending it here. Thank you guys so much for joining in. That is going to be wrapping today's YouTube live at Barca Media. It's been an amazing time to be hanging out with you guys. It's a lot of fun. I love doing this. I'm going to be doing this again, most possibly on Monday or Sunday, depending on if I have time or not, because I have school and stuff like that. So again, it was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for joining in, and I will see you guys next time. So yeah. All right, guys. Peace out.